Today on episode 108 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, our media recommendations, over-unders, and the TCF Not top 3 of Olympic sports. Let's roll. Hello and welcome to episode 108 of Typical Chicago Fans. It is me, Boomy, on Twitter at BoomyTCF. Make sure to follow the main page at typical_Chicago. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Type in Typical Chicago Fans. Give those pages a like and a follow. Head over to our YouTube page as well. Just go there, type in Typical Chicago Fans. Subscribe to that page. For all of our content in video form, we still have got some stuff loaded up from the TCF Denver trip that we're going to be releasing kind of between here and football as we fill that void. So make sure you check out the YouTube page. But make sure you subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. And tell a friend, tell a couple more friends to check us out on those as well. But make sure you follow the guys that I'm joined with tonight. That is, of course, Zach at Z Lilia TCF and Maddie at schools_01. Boys, today our episode is brought to you by our good friends over at 26shirts.com Chicago. Head over to their website, check out all of the great merch. I've got my shirt as always up here, and I've always got them on. They're the best shirts I own.
They got a new Justin Fields shirt, so make sure you go check that out.
Yes, absolutely. Go check that out. Hats, hoodies,
what size do you need, Boomy? XL?
I'm gonna pass this month, but you get yourself two just to help help yourself out there, man.
I got you. Just maybe Christmas time then, man.
Hey, you know what? Their t-shirts are so comfortable. If it wasn't, I love free t-shirts. So if you want to buy me a shirt, I'll rock it around the house. I just won't allow pictures to be taken in it. But I love a good t-shirt, and that's how good 26shirts.com/Chicago t-shirts are. They fit so well. I might even wear a Bears one. But like we said, head over to 26shirts.com/Chicago. Use code Typical Chicago Fans at checkout for 15% off your order on those amazingly comfortable shirts. Boys, episode 108. A lot going on in Chicago as of right now. We'll get into it in the TCF Sports Minute. But how are we feeling a couple days removed from the MLB trade deadline and as we open up NBA free agency?
It gets tougher and tougher because every day the former Cubs players do something that I'll get into it with my sinker, but all you do is you see it all over the place. Because people forget that maybe this has been the first time ever that 3 great players have been traded in the middle of a season to a different team and then made debuts on different days and hit home runs. Okay, we understand that. That's a crazy stat that never happened before. We don't need to see it 25 times. But I'm doing fine. And then you turn around today with the Bulls news. We'll also get into that. It's been up and down.
That's a great way to put it. Up and down has been very much the last 3 to 4 days. Maddie, how you holding up, my man?
Justin Fields is the best quarterback in the NFL, so I'm doing great.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear you're doing well, Maddie. And as these days get, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. The best way to wake up in the morning is with some Connect Roasters coffee. That'll get you through your day no matter who gets traded, who gets signed, whatever happens. The best way to start your day is with some Connect Roasters coffee. Like I said, it's the best around. They work with our guy, Dom Frederick, Ian Happ. Zach loves it, so it's good stuff. They wouldn't promote bad coffee, and Zach wouldn't drink bad coffee, so it's good stuff. Make sure you check out their website.
I think we should send some to Aaron Rodgers. He seems sad.
No, he's not sad at all. I don't know what you're watching, but he is not sad. He probably wakes up every morning with some lovely Connect Roasters. But you can head to their website, Connect Roasters.
I don't think so. He's too grumpy. He's too grumpy right now.
Not at all. He's got Randall Cobb back. He has no need to be grumpy. But also check them out on Twitter at Connect Roasters. You can find their product at Foxtrot Market and Dom's. And, of course, if you're in the clubhouse at Wrigley Field, you can get some there. Make sure to check out their Home Run Club as well for discounts. Every time our guy Ian Happ hits a dinger, check out Connect Roasters and get yourself some coffee. So, boys, let's go. As always, let's jump into it. Our sinkers and floaters. I'm going to start off with my sinker, and I don't know how big you guys are into wrestling. I know this name when I saw it, it popped up. I know our guy Pigoy is a huge wrestler, but my sinker this week is Sheamus. He's the fiery, pasty, redheaded guy from the WWE. But apparently he lost a very nice cross necklace that he said was stolen from the arena on the campus of the University of South Florida. He is offering a $5,000 reward, but he is also offering ringside seats and, as he said, and I quote, a lot of beer to anyone that may know the information to where Sheamus's necklace is at. So tough week to be Sheamus.
I think I've seen maybe he wears it down to the ring.
Yes, he said it's a prop necklace. It's like a big cross prop necklace. And it sounds like it's more like, I don't know if it's the value of it. It didn't say the value of it, but it must be like a sentimental thing. And he's willing to offer ringside seats and many beers if you have information leading to what can or what happened to this prop necklace. But it's been a rough week here for us as Cubs fans, but it's also been a rough week for Sheamus. So
let me get right into mine. If you like watching ESPN, I like watching it sometimes when I go to bed. You watch SportsCenter, you get to watch the highlights while you're going to sleep. Can't do that anymore because every time I turn the SportsCenter on ESPN, anything like that, it's these three former Cubs players have done this week.
Everyone hit a grand slam in the first at bat.
Yeah,
seriously.
It's like, why is this so crazy? Because this doesn't usually happen. That's why it's crazy.
Yeah,
and it's tough to watch. It's tough to watch. And the worst one is because he's also he's probably my favorite. It's Rizzo with the Yankees. That's what I've come down to it. That's the toughest one to watch.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree there.
But watching ESPN, I'm ready for football to start up here soon.
Hey, I'm going to say break it to you though. There was a video that surfaced of Tim Tebow catching a touchdown pass from Trevor Lawrence. So wait for ESPN to get a hold of that if Tim Tebow makes the Jaguars roster.
Oh my God.
I will say,
did Tim Tebow pay you to say that?
No, I saw it. I was going to send it to you because I knew you'd love it so much, but I forgot to.
I've seen it.
I know you guys said Rizzo.
Real spiritual connection there.
Rizzo didn't look right in the pinstripes in the Bronx, but I gotta admit, Chris Bryant with that black and orange in Baltimore in San Francisco. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? In San Francisco, that black and orange just pops, dude. That's a good uniform too. That is a great uni, and they're
Chris Giant. That's also a great name.
Yeah, the blacks too. Their black jersey's sick. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good look for him in my opinion. There, Javi, it remains to be seen especially if he's already hurt for the Mets. Just you're now combining the Cubs luck and the Mets luck of historic franchises in terms of feudal losses, and you combine those two teams together and you get an injured Javi Baez in game 2.
The nice thing is with Javi, I mean, and this is obviously way off track, but Javi with the Mets, their uniforms are kind of sort of similar to the Cubs, with the pinstripe and the grays. And
another team with the blacks, though, when they bust those blacks out, man.
Oh, I'm telling you. Cool. It's gonna, and honestly, I think if Javi goes back, remember when he had the long braids? You throw the long braids with those blacks, that's gonna pop. But
yeah, I think Dom put a picture up of Javi with the braids. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's totally forgot.
I should do that with
the other time when he had the blonde going too, when
awesome.
He was in the World Baseball Classic.
Yes,
he was swagging out big time then too.
Absolutely, Maddie. What is your sinker this week?
All right, boys. Well, I'm taking on another project in the house, and I'm not doing this one myself, but we're now designing and renovating our bathroom, master bathroom. And I have no idea how to pick out matching colors, accents, all that stuff. So my plea to our humongous listener base and anybody who's got an eye and an ear for design and who wants to throw me an opinion or two, I would really be receptive to that, because Maggie and I are struggling picking out this stuff, and it is expensive, and I do not want to make expensive mistakes. Expensive mistakes suck, dude. And
I have a suggestion, Matthew.
What's that?
Hire somebody to do it.
No, I'm not doing. No, we're hiring someone to do it. I'm not hiring someone to design it though.
Oh, okay.
I just want. I want
saying.
someone to give me this flooring that I like. I want them to say, "Hey, this looks good with X vanity, and it looks good with this light, and it looks good with this color, and that kind of stuff." Because I can't figure it out, and Maggie can't figure. We're both
I
like
totally
don't have
understand
that
that.
eye.
Luckily, most of my house was just already like fine, so I didn't have to make any of those decisions. But I feel like one day I'm going to need to like repaint and everything, and I'm going to have no idea.
Yeah.
Because,
So
like, apparently there's 25 different colors of blue. Like
25.
Oh, yeah.
25.
Like, what is that?
Zach,
what does that even
there's
like?
like 9
That's
million
crazy.
Pantones of blue, for Christ's sake. It's
That's
nuts.
insane.
It's
just get a hold of Darren Ravel. He knows all the shades and colors.
So if anybody is out there who wants to help be an interior designer for a master bathroom and a closet, and a walk-in closet, greatly appreciate. Hit me up in the DMs. So thanks.
Perfect. Let's move into our floaters. And my floater this week is Jaguars in Jacksonville. Like I said earlier, Tim Tebow caught a pass, touchdown pass from Trevor Lawrence. But that's not the real reason I want to talk.
Nobody cares.
Let me get to my story. That's not even the best part about Jaguars in Jacksonville. Shout out to this Jaguar. A man was injured by a Jaguar at a Florida zoo outside of Jacksonville after climbing over a barrier and got way too close to the animal. This idiot jumped a 4-foot fence, ended up in the Jaguar exhibit. A 12-year-old Jaguar named Harry swiped at the man and injured him. This apparently is the alpha of all Jaguars in Jacksonville.
He's lucky that's all that happened.
This Jaguar was involved in a fight last year that left another Jaguar dead. So, like you said, Zach, this guy is awfully lucky that he's only going to the hospispital and not the morgue.
What are you thinking? What's going through your brain when you're doing this?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go inside of an area where this animal has already penned up at for like its whole life now. Already mad about that. And then we're going to jump inside of it. You're lucky you survived.
And that Jaguar had killed another Jaguar. You picked the alpha of all Jaguars to fight. You're an idiot.
All right. I just want to say the one thing, I should say the one thing. One of the things I respect about you, Boomy, is the fact that it was your floater.
I'm on
that
the
was something
I'm
that was
Team Jaguar on
so totally Team Jaguar on that one as well.
You jumped the fence at a zoo.
Good call on that, Zach. I've got to intercede though with my floater here because mine's also a jungle cat of some kind, and mine is the Cougar. This time though, it's the Kane County Cougars because we went to a minor league game on Friday night with the kid and the wife and my brother and his family. Got seats in the front row. We had our entire section was no one else was there. So we were front row, right behind like the Cougars bullpen. Got to talk to the players for most of the night. Everybody was super cool to us. Talked to my son, talked to my nephew. So the players were just awesome, really cool dudes. Got to hear a lot of their stories on, a lot of these guys they're just kicking around just to play for fun at this point in life. That most of them, they're probably their dream of going to a big league team is past them at this point. But they're still playing just out of the sheer love, and you can tell. And it's really cool just hear a lot of their stories. They were really open to talking to us, and we haven't done a whole lot, out pandemic world basically. So this is one of the biggest things that we've done so far. It was great, able to, it was totally there was no issues with like people on top of you or anything like that. It was a great event, great time, and so shout out the Kane County Cougars there.
Absolutely good. Now they're now,
and I know they're not single A anymore.
They're an independent.
They were one of the teams that got chopped. But it's one of those things too, Boomy. Like I know you're a minor league baseball kind of nerd. I like it a lot. I did an internship for a minor league baseball team in South Carolina. So, it's something that I really support and really, think deserves a place in the baseball landscape. And any chance people can to support those guys and support those teams, I think it's really something, it's really something big to do.
Couldn't have said it better.
Me and Boomy for sure went to a bunch of like Kane County Cougars and Rockford Riverhawk games.
Oh, yeah. We were bad boys for the Riverhawks back in the day.
Yeah, and even
yes,
like
we were.
even switching gears to and staying in Rockford, but going to hockey. Support the Ice Sox. Support those other minor league
That's
sports
so much
too.
fun.
I mean, Ice Sox games are a blast. It's good quality hockey, and it's a short trip to get there.
My
It's easy
wife's
in,
a
easy
big
out.
fan of those, and
Yeah.
she's already got the season schedule pulled up on her phone and is picking dates.
It's a great time, and so it's really support those teams because they need it, man. And they're great to fans and they're great to the community.
Absolutely.
Love that,
Zach,
Maddie.
finish us
Love
with
it.
your floater.
Football season. It's I think the end of the month there is
You have
week
to
0.
drop in like the Monday Night Football sound there, right there, because like football
Yeah.
season, like.
But do you know what I mean? I'm like,
days.
I
saw a tweet. No
I'm
more
over
Sundays.
baseball.
No more Sundays until after the Super Bowl. Are we without a football game?
Yeah, I think there's preseason coming up.
Yeah,
because
it's like Hall of Fame game this Sunday, and then from there on it's preseason, then into the regular season.
But boys, I'm just saying that because I'm out on baseball.
Yeah.
Why? I can't imagine why.
I love watching all my former favorite players to watch play for different teams and compete for the playoffs, and then the White Sox are doing really good. Which,
what do you mean? Rafael Ortega hit 3 home runs on Sunday,
and they lost.
Yeah.
He had, I think, 109 at bats. He'd hit 3 home runs, and then in that game he hit 3 home runs.
Yeah.
I think he hit 1 the night before too.
Yeah, it definitely sucks. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah, that's tough.
So that's our sinkers and floaters for the week. Let's move into the TCF Sports Minute. First on the docket, MarcAndre Fleury has committed to the Blackhawks after there was some question of whether or not he would retire after leaving Vegas. Apparently, there was a phone call from Jonathan Toews to try and kind of talk him into it, but he did announce earlier this week that he will commit and play for the Blackhawks. Matt, what does that mean for the Blackhawks going into the 21-22 season?
MarcAndre Fleury is he's a bona fide number 1 elite goaltender in the league. So I know he's old. He's like 35, 36 now at this point, but he's got some cups. He's got a lot of experience, a lot of deep playoff runs. You've seen in the last few years when they had Corey Crawford covering up for some lackluster defensive defensive pairings and decline on some certain players over the last few years where Corey Crawford saved a lot of people.
Yep.
Last year, you didn't have that. You had Lankinen playing good in stretches. You had Subban playing good in stretches, but fortunate they were playing good in stretches and not just, elite goaltending. And now when you start pairing a guy like Seth Jones in your back end, you start getting, a little growth from a guy like Ian Mitchell and maybe some of these other young defensemen that have been kind of working their way through the system a little bit. You get hit on one of those, then you got a basically an all-star caliber goalie that's just ready to fire, and you can't undersell that enough, especially in the playoffs. You saw what Jesus, I can't talk tonight. Montreal, you saw what they just did. Went to a cup final with a team that barely made the playoffs that should have been out. They're down 3-1 in the first round. Carey Price got just scorching hot and took them all the way to the cup final. And those kind of things can happen with a goalie in the NHL. So you can't undersell that. I feel like it's one last big push with Taves Kane. Give those guys one last run at it while they still got some good mileage left. Real big key, Kirby Dach. We need the growth from him. If he takes that next step, then this is a really good playoff team, in my opinion. MarcAndre Fleury is such a big pickup.
Put this in as simple terms as possible. At him right now, where does he kind of settle as far as is he Corey Crawford in his prime? Is he Corey Crawford, in the middle, or is there a comparison there?
I don't know about they're such different style goaltenders, really, in my opinion. And Fleury's had some stretches where he was just, he got pulled a few times. Like he kind of bottomed out. Matt Martin came up and played really, really well for Pittsburgh when they were both there. Kind of took his job, and that's what made him, able to go to Vegas. And he lost his job in the playoffs last year because they had Leonard. And so when Fleury was kind of leaky there in the playoffs. They had a capable guy to plug right in. So it's hard to say you lose your job. That said, I mean, yeah, this is the kind of guy that can carry a team to a win. He can get a shutout, see 42 shots and get a shutout still, and you guys can win a game 1-0. So it's that kind of elite play that you can see from this guy. 1-year deal, a lot of money still, but it's not like a back-breaking contract at this point. So I think it's a great move, and the fact that it was a little bit of a gamble, not knowing if he was going to be willing to play, and I think to kind of flip in 72 hours or so, pretty happy he seemed to when he announced it that he was coming to Chicago, and that short video on Instagram or Twitter, wherever he posted it was pretty cool. He looked like he was like kind of jacked, so it's good to see.
Well, having guys like Jonathan Tays, Patrick Kane, bona fide
he played with those guys in the Olympics.
League. It's like that's nice to have.
Yeah, he was on teams with those guys in the Olympics and World Cup hockey and stuff like that. So
I really truthfully think that it just took him so off guard. Like he had no idea what was going. Like he did not think he was going to get traded. Then he gets traded, and he's just like, I want to take time to rethink things. And I think that that the call from Jonathan Tays and knowing that he's played with Kane and how they've improved helps a lot.
Well, I know you guys both listen to Barstool a lot and Redline Radio. Scott Darling's on their stuff every now and then. Listen to what Scott Darling has to say about Fleury in some of the podcasts when he's talked about him, because he speaks glowingly of him. And I think Scott Darling, if anybody knows goalies in the NHL, it's going to be him.
Yeah, absolutely. No, good. Looking good for a nice winter and hopefully a good spring for the Blackhawks with their neighbors.
It's hope. That's what we've been talking about, right,
yep.
boys? That's all we want, a little bit of fucking hope. We get it with Justin Fields. We get it with the Blackhawks. We get it, with 19-year-old prospects who are ranked 10th and 15th in other teams' organizations, right? That's where we get our hope from.
Gotta have hope, baby. Speaking of the Blackhawks, their neighbors at the United Center have made some big acquisitions today as NBA free agency has opened up. Obviously, want to start with that. The Bulls have pulled off a sign-in trade for Lonzo Ball from the Pelicans. They sent Thomas Satoransky, Garrett Temple, and a second-round pick for Lonzo Ball, and then signed him to a 4-year, $86 million deal for him to play point guard. And they have also pulled off Alex Caruso from the Lakers as a free agent, 4-year, $37 million deal.
Mid-level exception for him, correct?
What was that?
I think they gave him the mid-level exception, correct? So they didn't dip into their cap or anything.
Yes. So and so far, and I'll say this, and you might disagree with me, but Arturas Karnisovas has done more in his first full off season as a Bulls GM than Garpax did since 2011.
I don't know, 3 alphas, dude.
Rondo, Wade, and
it's just the way that they're going about it too. It's just like
they're being aggressive.
Yeah, because even like a guy like Caruso, he fits into a team that's trying to win, and he knows how to win. He's played with great players like that. That's the kind of like veteran players that you need, and it just seemed like Garpax never wanted to go out and get players like that. They wanted to get guys that would help like a team rebuilding, trying to get a better pick in the draft. No, these picks these signings that they've made today, even though it's only just been Lonzo Ball and Caruso, it's proven that they want to win now.
All right, tell me why I should be pumped about Lonzo Ball. Sell me on him.
So my thing is Lonzo Ball, to me, is a pass-first point guard who can hit a really solid percentage of threes. I was trying to think of the best way to say it. I should have pulled up the tweet.
He can play point guard.
Yes. Yeah. And he's a pass-first point guard. He doesn't have to have the ball in his hand every possession. He's
a good compliment for Levine, then, I'm assuming.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. He can contribute offensively in ways that doesn't involve him having to score. He's developed his three-point shooting a lot. His defense has improved a ton since college. And I think that he's going to take a little bit of the pressure off of LaVine and the fact that, like, he's going to get him, good opportunities. He's going to make, good opportunities for Vooch too. And like I said, the defensive end helps a lot with, we know how bad the Bulls were defensively. But I think this is good. I like the direction this is going.
I'm very excited.
Yeah,
because not just for these signings, but for what the future can hold. Because this is just proving that they're willing to go out and get the guys, and that's just awesome for the future.
And not even that, Zach. It also proves that free agents want to come to Chicago, and it hasn't felt like that.
They trust this organization for once.
Okay, now we talked pre-show about a rumor that's been obviously bubbling on Twitter and everything with DeRozan to the Bulls. Where are we at with that? Because I'm curious on your guys' opinions on what
I'm done with Lauri Markkanen. I am more than done with Lauri Markkanen.
I agree with that.
I think DeMar DeRozan is much better than Lauri Markkanen. And I think that if you have to package Kobe White in that deal, then so be it. I just don't, and I'm not saying I like Kobe White, but when you take someone 7th overall, I don't know if he has fully lived up to that. And obviously you can't look at 2020 and 21 as a full season because that was such a weird season. But the fact of the matter is that you have enough guards now that if you had to throw him in, I can make deal with that. Especially, I think DeMar DeRozan, I mean, he's an all-star. I know that, some of us might not like the return that you're getting with him, but he is an all-star caliber player who, when the heat is on LaVine and he's on a hot night, then you have another guy who can score with the ball. And I think if you're trying to win now, which it appears that you are, you got to think about going and making that move.
Do you know what name hasn't been mentioned by any of the three of us yet either? Patrick Williams.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And that guy, the growth that you could hopefully see from him, you saw so much potential in certain spots with that kid, and I think he could be really, really good if everything works out like you hope.
I think that the best thing that he offers right now is he's another guy who, and we've kind of jokingly said this, he's kind of like a Rodman character. He'll go out and give you, 15 rebounds, and he doesn't have to, especially if you have guys. Obviously, you have Zach LaVine, you have Vooch. If you add a guy like, DeRozan, he can contribute so much without having to score, 15 points a night. He brings so much on the defensive end and the rebounding end.
Okay, but you're telling, I could start looking at a perimeter defense then with Williams, Lonzo Ball, and Caruso. And, like you said, now we're starting to in DeRozan, and now we're talking about that's what 3, maybe 4 elite level defensive players.
Yeah,
that's starting to really. That's looking like a roster that could make some noise.
Absolutely.
You get 4 elite defensive players. That's
And fellas, we forgot that we drafted Ayo.
Yeah.
That's true.
Hey, I will say this though.
I think forgetting that
he was a first round talent.
It's a big few weeks for the Bulls.
It's been a very good run. It's been a very good run with it. What's funny too is a lot of people were giving like AK and the staff shit just a few weeks ago about, well, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? I don't know. It's like give these guys a little bit of time, boys.
Yep. I will say this, and I saw this on Twitter and it made me think a little bit. Obviously, Ayo is a first-round caliber player. The way that the free agency has gone so far and what the Bulls have on the books, they're very guard-heavy. And a lot of people have said, well, what are you going to do with so many guards? Look at what some of those teams that Billy Donovan had at Oklahoma City. He played a lot of 3-guard lineups. And with that also being said, don't get horribly discouraged if Ayo spends a little bit of the season with the Windy City Bulls. That's okay. Like, he's going to develop. It's not
another minor league team to support, by the way.
I don't miss a one, Maddie. But if he does get sent to the Windy City Bulls, they're not doing it, as a vendetta. They're so deep at the guard spot right now. that he'd be better off developing maybe in the G League for a little bit and then bring him up when he's ready. But obviously, I think that he's clearly a first-round talent that you pick at 38, and he's a Chicago kid. He started at Westinghouse, finished at Morgan Park, goes to Illinois, and now he's with the Bulls. I mean,
didn't realize he was at Westinghouse.
I didn't know that either. I believe it was Michael O'Brien from the Sun-Times had tweeted a photo, the first photo of him from the Chicago Sun-Times, and I didn't recognize the jersey, and I had to think about it. It was a Warriors jersey, and they were green and yellow, and I believe that's Westinghouse. Huh. So, a lot of good things coming from the Bulls. Obviously, we're only we're recording this Monday night, the first official day of free agency, but future's looking bright. And
are there other alternatives to DeRozan?
I thought Kyle Lowry was a possibility, but he is already a member of the Miami Heat. I don't know if you're going to get anyone on an all-star caliber right now. I haven't looked a ton into it. I've been kind of focused on the DeRozan stuff. But I think that either way, you have to go find someone to play backup center. Vooch can't play 40 minutes a night. And for the love of God, do not bring Cristiano Felicio back. Let somebody else overpay him. I mean, for the love of God, I'm tired of seeing that. I feel like he's been on the Bulls since Michael Jordan left. And I know that's not right, but that's just how long it feels like he's been around. And he stinks. I'm just done with it, done with the experiment. Let somebody else pay him. But anything else on the Bulls, gentlemen?
Let's hope they keep making moves.
Right, absolutely. A lot of wild stuff going on in NBA free agency. Apparently, the Lakers are trying to get the 2013 Lakers back together. They picked up Dwight Howard today, Kent Bazemore, couple other guys that were on those
Trevor Ariza.
Yeah, Trevor Ariza was another one. But they pick up Russell Westbrook on Friday. So they've got to fill in as many low salary role players as they can. So there's a lot going on in the NBA. PJ Tucker's leaving Milwaukee. There's a billion moves I feel like I feel like my head's been spinning, refreshing Twitter the last 5 hours. But it's a great day. Baseball needs to take notes because this first day of NBA free agency is can't miss stuff. So speaking of baseball, if you follow us on any social media, we've been very vocal on it. The Cubs, since our last show, have traded Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant, Javi Baez, Trevor Williams, Craig Kimbrell. Who else am I forgetting here?
That's enough.
That's my soul.
That's enough.
Let's just move on to the Sox.
Yeah. So the Sox do pick up Craig Kimbrell from the Cubs.
And Tepera.
And Tepera for Nick Madrigal, Cody Hewer, and I can't remember the other pitcher's name that the Cubs got. But the White Sox really put themselves in a good position here. I mean, obviously, they're already
I really truthfully think they won the trade deadline.
Yeah, I mean, for a team going for it, absolutely.
Their bullpen is loaded now.
Oh.
And not even that. Think about if you just get a starter.
They may have two of the best closers in the league right now.
Yeah.
If you
then you got two
electric starter to go.
And that's not counting like having a guy like Kopech's arm and Crochet's arm.
I know.
I mean,
it's
Crochet
crazy.
from the left side and Kopech from the right throwing like 105. What the hell's going on here?
Get a starter to get you through 5, maybe 6 innings, then throw it to Kopech, then go Hendricks, then Kimbrell, or Kimbrell, then Hendricks. It doesn't matter.
Tepera feeding out or two.
I mean, they're in such a good spot. They picked up the Hernandez kid from Cleveland. Man, they're in a good spot. They're in a very good spot.
I'm still surprised they didn't go get Story.
I think they tried. I would be willing to imagine the asking price for Trevor Story was probably a combination of a couple big name players. So there's a reason Trevor Story
expiring contract. And I think the reason is Colorado's Jeff Bridich is a fucking idiot. I think is the real.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it. That guy's a moron. That whole organization is run so poorly right now. But the Sox. I mean, and then you think about this: they still have Robert, who's on his rehab, so they still have that waiting for him. And then I haven't heard, and I probably should ask you guys this before, but I know Eloy was brought out of the game the other day. Is everything good with Eloy?
I believe so. I don't think it was anything long term.
Gotcha. So White Sox are definitely in the driver's seat. I did see a hilarious power rankings. I think it was from Bleacher Report or Fox. It was like the 10 best teams after the trade deadline, and the White Sox were not included in it. And White Sox Twitter was, let's just say, not very happy. It was pretty hilarious.
But that is,
I mean, they're right.
Dumb,
they're definitely
a
top 10 team.
What are you doing? How are they not number one? Like,
yeah, they had like the A's and the Giants, and the Giants are good, but like, I don't. It was a stretch. It was a big stretch.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's just unbelievable.
Their fans are a little soft at times, though.
White Sox Twitter likes to find something to get mad at.
Very much.
But that's just also stupid, though.
Yeah.
Like put them in at least the top 5.
Oh, without a doubt. I think they're the second best team in the American League. Mm-hmm. Maybe first. You could argue first, but like, I mean, either way, they're definitely, in the discussion in the top 10. So, anything else in baseball, fellas?
No. All
right, let's move into the last.
I'm over it. I'm over baseball.
Yeah, I had a feeling we were about done with that. I mean, it's very understandable. College football realignment. Texas, Oklahoma, most likely going to the SEC in 2 years. Do we smell the death of the Big 12?
It's going to be crazy what's going to happen here in the next few years with college football conferences, because I think it's 2025 is when Oklahoma and Texas officially leave.
Could be as early as 24.
And there had to be some buyouts and stuff within it. But, the Big 12, like we were talking a little bit before the show, they might lose 50% of their TV revenue just off of Texas and Oklahoma leaving.
That's insane. Yeah.
But not surprising, though, that Texas has their own network.
Yeah, you got to feel like these other teams in the Big 12 are like having back channel discussions with conference executives. Like,
they're talking.
You got to figure
right now.
Yeah, Kansas is AD and Iowa State's AD and Oklahoma State's AD are talking to the Big 10. Probably a couple more talking to the SEC. If you probably talking to the like your Baylor's and TCU should probably start heading out west. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Do you guys think? Here's obviously the hot button. Is this bad for college football that this is all happening?
I think it's gonna be fun.
No, it's bad for is the NCAA.
I think it'll be exciting.
Which I am all for, because the NCAA have really just screwed everything up in the last 50 years.
A little change, you play some different teams now. I know some of the old rivalries will be different, and you'll want to get those back. But
what really good new ones.
Texas and Oklahoma can't play at the Red River. They're going to play somebody else. I could care less.
It'll be fun. I think the next 4 to 5 years, college football is going to look a lot different.
Yeah, you're also going to see like LSU versus Oklahoma, and you're also going to see Texas versus Florida. And Bama just wiping the floor with everybody. So,
and I give credit where credit's due. My dad has basically called this for the last 5 years since they started the college football. He said it's going to end up being 4 major conferences, and he even made a point about saying that kind of to your point, Maddie, about they could if they really wanted to and put this plan together, they could split from the NCAA and just do their own thing with Power 4 conferences.
They absolutely could. It literally would be like an amateur sports association. And
have affiliations whatever the hell you want.
And they just would have affiliations with the colleges. The colleges don't make it illegal for the players to get paid. It's the NCAA that makes it illegal for the players to get paid. So more with the NIL, but you know what I mean. The NCAA regulates them getting paid. It's not Alabama saying no, we don't want you to make any money.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Maybe one day I'll find my NIU Huskies in a Power 4 conference, but I'm not holding my breath. That's about it for the TCF Sports Minute. Let's go ahead and move into our media recommendations. These could be anything from a musical album, a podcast, video game, TV show, movie, whatever you got. Zach, what do you got for us for your media recommendation this week?
This is kind of a recommendation for myself. I'm going to start The Sopranos. We got about a month here until football starts up. Well, I know we got some preseason, but I'm gonna try and watch all of The Sopranos. I think it's on Prime Video.
Yeah, if you have you might need a Starz subscription at least, or an HBO subscription, but it's the second best television show I've ever watched. So I would highly recommend that. You're gonna love it.
I'll have to figure out how to watch it, but yes, very excited about that. I've been wanting to watch this for a while now. So got a little bit of time here with the Cubs. They're taking the rest of this. Let's just say they're kind of taking the rest of the season off.
I canceled my MLB subscription on
Did you?
Friday, so, yeah.
My parents did the same thing.
Yeah, not paying for that. No, Paulie Walnut's one of the best television characters of all time. You're gonna love Paulie Walnuts.
The Sopranos. It's kind of cool though to like start a show. How long ago did that show start?
98.
I'm just now starting it. That's kind of fun.
That's all right. I just watched it like 2 years ago, so you're not too far behind. Maddie, what is your media recommendation this week? That's a great show.
I was actually considering starting that very soon myself, so I might have to do that now. And
you never watched Sopranos?
No, I didn't. But mine this week is a series on ESPN Plus that I started. It's The Ultimate Fighter, and they're doing a new season this year. Never watched it before. As you guys know, I started getting into the UFC a little bit during the pandemic because that was one of the first sports to come back, and you know, it just caught my attention and really started getting into it a little more. And that show, the way they do that it's fantastic. Tournament style based, where it's one fight each episode. Just kind of shows some background of the fighters, shows like how they, their styles, their training. Gives their backstories and kind of develops the storyline to it all too. Really cool show. You start getting some guys that you do like, some guys that you don't like. The team aspect of it's got a little bit of a kind of cool vibe. So really interesting
drama
show
on the side too.
Really good drama, but like Dana White, man, it's like it's kind of like got a lot of Portnoy to him, where it just seems like everything the guy does turns out well.
Yes. Great choice. It's been a long time since I've watched that show, so I might have to get back in on that.
And from what I hear, I got a buddy who's really big into UFC, and he's kind of the one I started talking to a lot about. Like, and he had said that I didn't realize this. There's been a ton of good fighters that have come out of that too. Like, that went on to great careers and stuff. So,
absolutely, yeah. Maybe you can scout some futures so we can hit some
right
in the next couple of years. My recommendation is another podcast, kind of similar to ours. Me and Zach listened to it on our way out to Denver. It's called Laughing from the Sideline. A little bit more comedy based. I think it's three guys that are stand-up comedians, but also, enjoy sports. A lot more raunchy than our podcast, but pretty good stuff if you're looking for a good laugh. They're like three stand-up comedians. I can't tell exactly where they're from. It seems like maybe Missouri or Kansas. But they're funny dudes. So Laughing from the Sidelines, I've been checking that out quite a bit lately and getting a good laugh out of it. So check them out. Check out all of our media recommendations this week. Let's move on to our segment. And obviously the Olympics is still happening. So we're going to do over-unders this week. I'm going to throw out 5 different sports. We're going to say if we think they're overrated or underrated or perfectly rated. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, first one. I'm going to go with one of my favorites, handball.
Underrated. That is so much fun. I used to love playing that in PE.
Remember when you downloaded the handball game on your PlayStation over quarantine?
Yeah, that wasn't very fun.
It was hard.
But actually playing the game, very fun.
Handball, yeah, I'm with you. I think underrated as well. Maddie?
I'm going to say properly rated.
Okay. I respect
properly rated. I think it's kind of one of those things where it kind of catches a lot of meathead sports fans like our attention. I'll just put it that way. So I think it's rated well by people like us.
Yeah, that's a valid point. The whole time I'm watching, I'm like, I think back to what Pardon My Take said, like, if we put our best athletes on a team and just had them train for like
Death
6 months,
and
we would
destruction.
kill everybody.
You're absolutely correct.
Like Patrick Mahomes, like put him and LeBron and,
Calvin Johnson.
Yes. Yeah. Or Travis Kelce and just, wreck shop. You'd be and find a hockey goalie to play goal. I think we would kill everybody. We'd beat everybody by 20. All right. Next one, surfing.
Overrated.
Very overrated. I tried to watch that.
I don't see how that's fun.
I'm with you. I don't know how it's an Olympic sport, to be honest with you, but what do I know?
I think it's one of those things that's better off not in the Olympics, and it's better off as like a niche, like extreme sport event. I don't know. Certain things just it just doesn't fit in the Olympics. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, man. And I think I said this last week, and I'd probably get into it here in a little bit of the not top 3, but there's some sports that are, for some reason, in the Olympics that do just fine in the X Games. We don't need them in the Olympics. We don't need 2 X Games going on. Just leave it there. It's fine. Next one I'm going to throw out is Greco-Roman wrestling.
What is that?
Like high school wrestling, but with adults.
Overrated.
Yeah, I'm with you. Super overrated. Now, I will, in
especially
wrestling
the way you
defense.
explained it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we get the cool singlets and everything too?
Oh, they definitely have singlets. It's just it is a sport that none of us we could go out right now and just get absolutely murdered by one of these guys. It takes a lot and it's very technical, but I just have less than zero interest in watching it. All right. Here's another one. It's a new sport this year. Golf in the Olympics.
It's properly rated.
Maddie?
Can I abstain? I don't know how to answer this one.
I'll do it for you. It's overrated in the Olympics. I don't need it in the Olympics.
I think you're right, and I think you're right.
I love golf, and I watch a ton of golf.
I don't think there's
in the Olympics.
If you're gonna do it in the Olympics, I want it like Ryder Cup style. I want team play.
Yes.
Give me like twosomes and four. That's
very true.
Give me a fucking scramble. Give me a country scramble. Let's go.
That'd be awesome.
Everybody's boozing. Everybody let's do it. I don't know.
I think I have an idea for this, Matt. Continent scramble.
Fine. Give me something. Give me the team aspect of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could work. It could work, but it can't just be a regular golf tournament, because then just give me a fucking regular golf tournament with all the good golfers, not just 4 from every country,
Yes. All right. And my last one, trampoline.
Underrated. I've never seen that.
Yeah. Those guys are like 30 feet in the air.
No. Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know about. I'm just gonna. I'll say properly rated, because I can see Boomy's excited about it. So there's obviously a good vibe to it.
Dude, do you guys want to know what the name is of the best trampoliner in the world?
Bouncy McGee?
Dong is his name.
Dong when he gets bounced.
Dong.
Sure is Dong.
A stud on the trampoline. But it's very nerve-wracking.
Boomy, not a stud on the trampoline.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, shit.
Boomy's not a stud
No,
on the
I
trampoline.
dislocated my ankle last time I was on a trampoline. I'm not allowed. That's why I watch and I like it, because I'm not allowed on them. My wife doesn't let me go on them anymore. So I'm very, but they are so there's like a box in the middle of it.
There watching the Olympics, watching trampoline, just like, I wish I could do that.
I'm so jealous.
But they have like a box that you're supposed to land in, and when they miss, the one guy I was watching is super good, and he landed, no joke, that close to missing the trampoline, and I was like, this would be catastrophic, but hilarious at the same time.
No, it would not be funny.
I mean,
it would hurt very badly.
All right, let's move on to our last segment, the TCF Not Top 3 of Olympic sports. The sports that we did our top 3 sports last week. We're going to do our 3 most disliked sports in the Olympics this week. Matt, you weren't on with us last week. Do you have a quick top 3 that would have been your, your tops that you would pick?
Man, you put me on the spot there.
Sorry, I should have given you a little warning. But...
No. I'll get you something here. I do like beach volleyball. Quickly, like off the top of my head. Yeah, definitely. Beach volleyball is a good way to go. I think
weightlifting.
Weightlifting.
We'll save it. We'll save weightlifting for the latter portion of this conversation, Zach, please.
Have some respect.
And there's some man.
We'll circle back when we're done.
Yeah, let me chew that one up for a second. You put me on the spot there.
I have randomly selected Zach to start us off with the number 1 overall pick.
I'm gonna go with it made its debut this Olympics. It's called sport climbing. So pretty much what it is like rock climbing, but like extreme. Like you're on like angles that like you're almost gonna fall off. But like you're pretty much just rock climbing, but it's like extreme rock climbing.
You don't like that?
No.
Do they race against each other?
I have no idea.
I
have no idea.
I'm kind of with. That's not really, to me, like not really an Olympic sport, but I don't know.
I thought this was like something we wouldn't want to do.
Or just like the ones you don't, like the ones you dislike.
I'm afraid of heights.
Yeah, valid point.
And it's pretty much rock climbing.
But it's not as dangerous either, right? Because it's like all the, it's not like the free solo stuff, which is wild. I'm going to go second. I'm going to go with equestrian. First of all, I couldn't do it because I'm afraid of horses. Second of all, it is horribly boring. And not even that.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. How do they win? Who wins the gold medal?
It was pretty cool, that one video of the horse like trotting to the music. That was kind of cool, but like,
is this the same as horse race? Is that a jockey?
Boy, you're putting me on the spot here. I have no idea what the person's called, but the gold medal belongs to the horse, not the person on the back of it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know who gets it.
It's a weird. I don't know.
Secretariat won best athlete, so come on, give it to the horse.
Yeah, exactly. Matt,
all right, well, I'm going to take it. I guess it'll be 1-3 is definitely weightlifting. We got to get the hardos the F out of here.
What do you got against weightlifting?
What do I have to do with weightlifting? Like, why? Why do we have to watch that? Like the clean and jerk?
Dude, that's
really?
They're so strong.
That's Boomy's favorite.
It is. It's my top 15.
Absolutely, just get it off my TV is all I can say.
Oh, and they're not on steroids.
Okay.
They're not.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted to talk like the state deadlifting,
are we going to talk like horse tranquilizers too? Are we going to start talking about that kind of stuff, or no?
Horse tranquilizers are not steroids.
Correct. You're right.
All right.
There's though.
What's your second round pick?
It's got to be sailing.
You took that off my list.
Like, what are we doing? It's sailing.
Yeah,
sailing is a fine thing to do. I know there's like great, like huge races, like across, like across the Atlantic. Say, I don't know what they do. I know there's big ass sailing races around the world. Stick to that. It doesn't. How is that an Olympic sport? That's what I.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't get it. I think the ones that finish in my not, like the bottom of my list, the ones that we're talking about tonight, are just ones that like I don't quite understand.
Yeah, no, I don't get the point of that one at all.
All right, I'm gonna give my second round pick, and that is synchronized swimming. Who the hell cares?
It seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, and it's boring, and it's always like classical music, like. I'd rather take a nap.
I don't know. Have you seen Caddyshack? That's a dynamite synchronized swimming scene. Caddyshack.
I like it in Caddyshack. I don't need it when there's actual like good sports going on.
Okay, I'm gonna go, boys, with kind of the same thing with boring. Marathon swimming. That takes too long.
Yes. It's super impressive, but like come on.
Yeah, very impressive, but takes way too long. Like when they did the 1,500 meter race, it's like, oh, we have 15 minutes. It's like, come on.
My whole thing, mix in some sharks or something. Make it a little diverse.
Yes, even the playing field a little bit.
Yeah.
And then my last one is
a
a triathlon. The triathlon.
Oh, I love the triathlon.
Another. Imagine try hard. Imagine
Take
that.
it easy.
It's the try hard athlon.
That was a good one. We should put that on a T-shirt. My third round pick, Zach. I will say this: I'm not going to take, but like long distance, anything. I'm completely with you. Mm-hmm. I had another one down. I'm going to take Taekwondo in my third round just because it's goofy as hell, and they don't use their arms; they just kick each other.
You wouldn't understand.
I really wouldn't, but I do want to say as a kind of caveat off of yours, Zach, like long distance running, like anything over a mile that's going to take me more than 5 minutes to watch, I don't need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just like you say baseball is boring. Try watching like a triathlon.
Yeah,
it takes forever.
At least has like the different things going on, but
they
like
still all three of them take forever.
They take way too long. Yeah, no, I'm with you. But I don't know. Taekwondo, I tried to watch one day, and I'm just like, I guess I'm just so like my brain is so used to like UFC, and I'm like, just use your hands, and you can't. You just got to kick people. It's just kind of weird. So, Maddie, what's your third and final pick?
Mine's sweet. I'm gonna go to. This might surprise you a little bit, but I'm gonna go one that's just visually hard on my eyes, and that's the triple jump. It makes me feel like the person's having like borderline like a body seizure or something when they're doing the triple jump.
It looks like
it looks like it's so it looks so difficult on your body. I don't know. It's like you're literally sprinting, and then you're just like, oh wait, I gotta skip. Oh wait, I gotta skip again, and I gotta jump. Like I don't. My brain.
That's way too much pressure on the knees for me to be comfortable.
Not gonna happen. So triple jump.
I don't like the Olympic sports that are like I don't understand the scoring.
And anytime it comes up to like judges, like I know this isn't a summer one, but like skating, like ice skating and like figure skating is like the dumbest thing I've ever watched. And then like the judges get to decide, and then that whole
but you guys are obviously into mob shows, dude. Come on, that's what the judging in ice skating and gymnastics is all about. Deepest pockets wins.
Yeah, and I don't mind gymnastics, but I only like the uneven bars. I think I talked about that one last week. And then the one where they run and they jump and they do the flips. So it's not pommel horse. I don't know what it's called. But there's only a couple things in gymnastics. But when you bring the human element of judging into it, kind of makes me fade away.
I had one as an honorable mention.
Sure.
Canoe sprint.
Dude, canoeing's pretty sweet.
Okay, yeah, it's fun to do, but canoe sprint, let's take it easy. Like, what is that? How is that an Olympic sport?
Yeah, I'm with you there.
It's literally just you're in a canoe and they just go as fast as they can.
Yeah, I'm with you there. That's a good pick. Maddie, do you have any?
I got a counter. I was gonna come back and give you my top three, and I gotta say that kayak slalom where it's like the whitewater rafting one, dude. That one's pretty sick. I like that
and
one.
And it's all like artificial. It's like in a big giant pool.
Yeah, I kind of like that one. Like another one though, get me out in the elements. Like I said, like if you're doing marathon swimming, do it in the ocean. Make it a little bit of more like, hey, if you're doing open water swimming, do open water swimming. There. Get these guys in an
or ice, shark.
Get them on some whitewater, rapids, and let's go. Let's do the kayaking there. You know what I mean? So let's do it real. Let's get it native. Another one I want to say that I would like a lot. Man, I gotta feel like the mountain biking, again, if you do it right, could be really interesting.
Are you talking about like the BMX course racing or like the cycling stuff?
The mountain? No, not the track cycling. Not that one where they're like in the one line. That one's crazy. That one's like that's another one that's kind of like hard on your eyes. That track table tennis is always a good one.
Good
I mean, choice. You see what that one video of the guy running around the table, like that was sweet. That was bananas. There's just so much. Sweet. The guy, it's just all over the place. That one I can't pass up either.
Well, this is probably I believe the last week of the Olympics. So if you haven't got your Olympic fix in, get it in now. Boys, anything else for episode 108?
I think that's about it. I'm on to football.
Absolutely. Maddie, anything else for you?
Yeah, I'm with Zach. Football season is where my eyes are.
Well, make sure you check out our friends over at 26shirts.com Chicago for some great Chicago sports merch, some of the best fitting shirts I've ever owned, hats, hoodies, flags, whatever you need. Use promo code Typical Chicago Fans on their website, 26shirts.com/Chicago. You can't go wrong with anything on there. I know a lot of people near the end of the summer some people start their Christmas shopping. 15% off your order. Get your Christmas shopping done for your family members at 26shirts.com Chicago. And while you're there buying gifts, pick up yourself some Connect Roasters coffee. It'll be the best coffee that you have in the house. They work with our guy, Dom Frederick, Ian, Hap, and of course, Zach has it. So you know it's good stuff. Make sure you check out their website, connectroasters.com. Follow them on Twitter at Connect Roasters. Make sure you get some Connect Roasters coffee in your life. But thank you for joining us for episode 108 of Typical Chicago Fans. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. Follow the main page at typical_Chicago. Follow Zach at ZLiliaTCF and Matt at schools_01. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Give those pages a like. Subscribe to the YouTube page for all of our content in video form. Wherever you find your podcast, you can find us there. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you find them, we are there. Make sure you give those pages some love. But thank you for joining us for episode 108 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.